there are things that we need to be talking about. So I don't know how much time we'll be able to get into. Probably two big issues that I want to update you on and get some feedback on, but also some of these other smaller issues, I'll call them. I'm hopeful that if we can get through them, great. If not, we should spend some more time somewhere to talk about them, because I'd certainly like to hear your ideas about them. So for the nature of the work that we've got a number of committees set up. You can see that we have TAG and AEP. We have chairs specifically for those that are a bit more arm's length from the board, and so they'll be coming up to share about their updates with you on those particular areas. But the ones that the board works on that I can summarize for you would be the Executive Committee, the Audit and Finance Committee, and the Governance Committee. And I'd like to just provide a bit on those three for you. I guess just generally as a whole, I'd like to say that our number one priority is to get more capital for our network. That is ingrained at the board level and at the staff level, and even within Shannon's contract, by the way. So I've been clear with him, no money, no honey. It's just, that's the relationship that we have with him, and he knows that. So to me, we're doing everything we can to get us there. And when I came on, like I mentioned earlier, to start this endeavor 3 years ago, the situation that we were in, it would have been tough to ask at that point. We need some more capital, but we've been asking for decades. And you know that the governments that we've had to deal with in the past haven't been very receptive. And we had hope 3 years ago that we'd get finally some open ears and open doors on this matter. How do I feel about it? Well, I don't feel thrilled. They both left. Did you notice that? That's interesting. Where did they go? Chris left too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we've gone to them. We've started the dialogue, and we thought we were somewhere close before the last budget. It got thrown in there and got sorry, didn't happen. Something messed up. Well, next year. And when we met with the minister, Philpott, a couple of weeks back, I got already a little bit of a warning sign. Not sure. We got all these needs. And it kind of irks me, and I'll use that word irk because I have some stronger words in my mind about this, by the way. But it irks me that, we've been trying to work with INAC, I'll call them whatever it is of the day, I guess it's ISC, whatever, INAC embedded in my head. We've been working with them to try to get this money, and it just seems like they don't hear us as well as I'd like them to hear us. I get ISED. I like ISED. When we talk to them, they speak our language. We talk about the nature of our business, developmental lending. They get it. They've got all these things that we could do. But they also tell us, well, you got to work with INET. That's your main guy right now, right? So I'm like, okay, where do we go with this? Because I do not want to hear next March or whatever, sorry, let's try next year. And, the reality is we're in election year next year. And by golly, this is the area that they should be happy about. Just a little bit of a side note. Everybody's pissed in D.C. and Alberta about the pipeline thing. They want to make some Aboriginal friends. Maybe this is an area where they should get it, because right now they're starting to lose a lot of us over there on all these issues that they seem to keep dropping the ball. So I don't know if it's a communication strategy, a marketing strategy, a political strategy, but we're working hard to try to figure out how the hell do we get more capital. It seems to be such an easy sell. We get the nods. Yeah, you did a great job. You did good. We can see the need for it, all this kind of stuff. But when push comes to shove, it's everybody. Now, I get the frustration out there, right? I get it. Where the hell's the money? Show me the money. Just the way I'm doing with Shannon, you guys can do that with the board. Where the hell's the money? I get it. And we're working hard. We're trying to get it, right? We're asking for a bit of money, $75, $100 million, $150 million. These are the kind of numbers that we're throwing around. And the more we talk about it, the more all these other pieces come on play, and we say, yeah, we can work with that. We go back, we huddle up, we throw something else on. And we're still getting there. Now, if you listen to our staff, you'll get a sense that they feel cautiously optimistic, maybe, right? And maybe the board was feeling a bit that way a year ago. I'm getting a little more jaded now. I'm going, you darn well better show something else in this next budget, because I'm tired of this backing and forth thing on it, right? So what are our options come this budget cycle if we don't get in? That's what I'm really wondering about. Because to me, this is an easy sell. Even if it was like the 150 million, that is such a good impact on an organization like ours. I mean, take a look at the record that you as a collective have been able to achieve in the last few decades. No funding program out there in Canada that can compete with those kind of numbers. Taking $240 million or $330 million and just recycling that over and over again to $2.4 billion. It's just unheard of, right? And it's not like they keep feeding us. One of the questions that they ask me is, what about your sustainability? I go, what are you talking about sustainability? We've been sustainable since you gave us this seed money way back then. So to me, it's this issue that we need to stay on board. Now, one of the struggles I've been having lately, frankly, and maybe it's the white elephant in the room, is that as we get closer to getting money, I'm feeling the angst out there. I'm feeling the antsiness. And I see some parties or players that I'm hearing, second, third hand, maybe wanting to make a play for some of this money. And we started this arrangement to all of you that we were all going to be in the same canoe, same boat. And until I hear otherwise, I'm acting in that mentality, with that mindset. So until somebody gets up and walks out the door and not comes up with the hypothetical if somebody leaves, if you actually leave, we're all in the same canoe, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going there and we're saying we're all in the same canoe. I don't know what the hell's going on with whoever you're chatting about, but we're here and we're trying to get this. Now the challenge I've had since day one is when we get it, not if we get it, but when we get it, then what's going to happen? We need to set some criteria about what we're going to do with these funds so that we're not all fighting. You know how it is. You throw a little bit of money on the table and all bets are off. People start fighting amongst each other. I do not want that to happen. We've been working too darn hard to suddenly start fracturing because of that which I think is to come. So the models that we've been looking at are what makes sense. And you know what we've inherited, for better or worse, there's been a combination of per capita and also performance, for lack of a better word. Now all this discussion is coming up, which way should we go? I think this is a discussion we need to start talking about. What makes sense for us? For me, the model that seems to make the most sense is that we take a certain percentage of it and have it distributed on some basis, but there's this holding piece, whatever percentage that might be, that would be given to Shannon's discretion to be able to use on a as-needed basis. Where's our squeaky wheel in the country? How can we deal with that? Give him some latitude to be able to deal with it like that. To me, that seems to make the most sense, but that's a conversation that I think we need to have, which I would like to have with you all. And to me, that's where I think we need to go. So this whole issue about getting new capital, we've been working hard on. You ask any of the directors about it, what's going on with it. And we're realizing this with Shannon too, by the way. He needs our help as directors. And we need to step up to the plate. When there's a minister meeting, a director general meeting, or whatever it is, we need to make ourselves available to get there and speak that message. And that message that I've been saying very clearly is we are all working together until we hear otherwise. And we still are committed to what we started with you several years ago about this process of getting that new capital. Okay? Now, I also want to just make a quick comment on the operational side. Government asked me a couple of weeks ago, so are you doing better than we did? And I said, absolutely. And they said, well, why do you say that? I said, because we can get the money out the door. And that's true. When they had this program and they were running it, they weren't getting all the money out the door. And then once we got it, I turned to Shannon right away. I said, Shannon, your number one priority is to get that damn money out the door by March. He came on in October, November, and by March, with all this surplus we had, he got it out the door. That was a big breath of air, fresh air for me, because to me, I did not want to go to government and say, oh, we need some more money, and by the way, we can't spend this existing money. It's a bad story to sell. And that's where we walked in at the time when we first started this process. But we have got the money out the door, and thanks to Shannon and that team, we continue to get the money out the door every year. And so it makes that case strong about what we've been asking for. And thanks, Shannon, to the team that you've created. You've got a phenomenal team. I'm proud to go into a meeting with the likes of Shannon and Jerry and Frank, by the way. I have a lot of respect for Frank. Frank's a good information guy. And I said to him one time when I first met him, it starts with good information. It starts with good data. And we're working on that. We're now becoming a valuable data holder that gives us a lot of strength. And, well, you got me going here because I'm going to give you some more stuff here. So I've been hearing a little bit of fake news out there about what we're not doing. Well, go and ask Frank for the data, and he'll show you what we're doing. And that's quantifiable stuff that he can back through good methodology. And so to me, we're creating an environment where I can go into rooms now and feel confident about who we are. My board I'm very proud of. My staff I'm very proud of. I brag about you guys all the time. And I went and sat with a BDC one time. I basically said to them, we can do better than you are doing with the Indigenous population right now. Wait a minute. And they were, yeah, you can. It's because of you guys out there. You know what's going on the ground with your client base, with your stakeholders more than they do, more than us as NACA does. So we are working on that, and we're working very hard on it, and that has been our priority. Now, on the audit and finance side, I've got Wayne here, who's our chair, and Wayne's done a fabulous job working with them. I got Corey, a very smart guy, good guy. I got Jean over in the back, very seasoned, experienced a guy. And we've got Jack. Where's Jack? Jack, he took off. Okay. He's on his way out the door, so he doesn't care anymore. Okay. So Jack, I'm sorry to see Jack leave. Jack's a valuable asset to our team, but I see our new one here. Look forward to the meeting. Sorry I haven't had a chance to come and meet you yet. But we have a really good audit and finance team. I look at these guys and I go, I can put these guys up against anybody. I believe they're our strongest committee, by the way, that team that we've got there. And so we've gone through the audit process. We've made sure that if there's anything that was needed to be dealt with, they've got them taken care of. And I just know it's in good hands. The one issue that they've had to take on recently is we've had our finance director, CFO, step down. And so we've got the Audit and Finance Committee working with Shannon to make sure we find a good replacement. And you know how critical that position is to our organization. So we have a bit of committee involvement on that. Okay. And I guess on the governance committee that we have Lucy chairing. Lucy's on there, and we have George. Where's George? George is right here. And then we also have Ron. Ron's in the back, he's on the governance committee, and we had Muriel. And I guess if you comment about Muriel, I'd like to thank Muriel for all the service that she's done for this organization and her community and organization back home. When I first got on here a few years ago, she was there and almost took her as our board elder, if you will, when it got on. And you could tell in the last year, even at her last AGA, she'd been a bit sick, she'd been walking a bit slower, right? And so shortly after that AGA, she just basically had stopped coming to our meetings. We just let her be until, she knew that it was time. She just submitted her resignation like a month ago and said, I won't be able to make it anymore. And so I know all the years that she's committed to this organization and to her AFI. I just wanted to acknowledge her. But, her absence on the governance committee and on the executive committee put a little bit of a gap in us for us to do good work, Our committees operate on a small group, and so one suddenly leaves, it's a big gap. But we've gone through it, and the thing I can say about governance is that, my God, we still need to do a lot of governance work. If there's anything that I can see right now that is probably maybe more important than the accessing the capital work is the governance work, I hear the sentiment out there. What gets me is this waving the membership card up right now. Do I really want to be here? And I really wonder and struggled with that when I started hearing this. What the hell is that all about? We're trying to do this together. We've been together this long. Why is that coming? And I must confess that I'm getting triggered a little bit from some of my past experiences that I've worked on in BC. We've had a lot of transfer programs between government and Indigenous groups in BC. And what I've noticed is that when you're a member organization and you're advocating for your constituency, and then suddenly you get all this money and program transferred to you, things change. Things get a little funky. And all of a sudden, those people you're all working together and the government's the bad guy, and all of a sudden you're delivering and administering the programs, you're the bad guy. And I really can't help but think that there are some decisions here that we will make, either as the staff or as the board, that'll suddenly go, I'm not sure I belong here anymore. That decision doesn't represent us, and so we're going to walk. That disturbs me, because I've seen it happen before. And so what we had to do is we had to take a look at our governance structure to see. You may perceive that we're in conflict. There may be real conflict, and there has been real conflict. We've had some good hashing outs in our board about these kind of issues. Okay? But we got to figure out how to deal with that. And I just going to throw something out to you, maybe a crazy idea right now, but I need to say my piece on this. I told it to the board yesterday, and that was what we started looking at back east of this model was a completely independent board to oversee the government program. That way, none of you can get pissed off at the board for the decision made, but you can't say, well, they made that in part because of their vested interest, their self-interest. You know? And that's the problem I'm dealing with. It may not be real conflict that's the problem. It may be the perceived conflict. And they're basically the same thing, by the way. They have the same impact. You know, people start questioning your ability. And I want to say to Shannon, too. Shannon, that's a precarious place that you're in, where his bosses are the same people he's giving service to. How do I deal with these people? They have this ability to do this if I go with this decision. That's a tough place to put it in. So to me, governance is as critical today as it was a few years ago when we made that amendment to switch the board to be independent. I have to throw out there, because I'm sure you'll bring it up, Elaine, at some point. There's been this request from one of our AFIs to get rid of get rid of the two independents and have maybe a return back to more of this greater participation from the AFI. You're hearing me, Elaine, respectfully. I think we should go the other way. I think we should go to independence and see what we need to do about that, because to me, that's where this might be a better landing. At the end of the day, governance and operations and getting new monies are the things that we're doing. We're working very hard to doing those, and I do believe that we have the team. The only thing I got to figure out is how do we herd the cats in the room so that we can stay on the same page and do these things that we're trying to do. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you. I'll open up the questions now. Just bear with me a couple of minutes, because I do know we have a couple more and try to get out of here. But let's do that if you have anything, please.